So today we're going to do a little review on some continuing education for registered dietitians. And the work that we will be reviewing is Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this won't really go into too much detail about the book itself, about how easy or difficult the continuing education is. I normally go to wherever I can find this continuing education the cheapest. Where I found this continuing education was on dietitian360.com. It was a little bit more expensive than I wanted to pay, but I'm getting close to my recertification cycle, or the end of it, so I needed to get it knocked out. Overall, I felt this was pretty easy, a CEU to get. It took me about 3 hours to read the book and about 20 minutes to do the exam. The exam was 40 questions and it's unlimited retakes, which I think is awesome. I didn't actually pass this exam the first time I took it. It was about, from when I read the book to when I took the exam, it was about 2 to 3 weeks. So I had forgotten some of the material, but after my first time taking it and I didn't pass, I retook it and got 100. It was pretty simple. So where I go normally, like I said, is Dietitian 360. Atomic Habits is underneath the Leadership tab of Dietitian 360. You just navigate to that site and then scroll down and find Atomic Habits. Click on that. You can see here it's 10 CPEUs for $68. And since I already had the book, I went to exam only. If you want the exam and the ebook, it's like $10 more. And then if you want the book or the hardcover, it's, what does it cost? It's like another 15 bucks with the book, but I usually get most of my stuff off Amazon. I'm sure most of you guys do. And you can see here that it says 40 multiple questions, downloadable, unlimited retake. So what happens is if you don't pass it, it'll just let you know. It sends you a email of the questions that you got wrong and right, and then you can double check your work and go and find the mistakes you made and correct them. So one thing I make sure I do before, obviously, and this is more for new RDs or RDs to be who haven't done their first cycle yet, is I go to the continuing education info and I look up CDR activity. I make sure it's accepted by the Commission on Dietetic Registration. Course expiry May 31, 2024. So what this means is as long as you take this continuing education before the expiration date, you're good to go. You just can't take this after it, or otherwise they won't count it. And then I look at the practice competency spheres. So this is 1, 2, and 9, 1.1, 2.1, 9.4, and the performance indicators. So what you want to do is make sure that this is on your learning plan, right? Because if it's not on your learning plan, you will not be able to put it in your log. You can change your learning plan at any time. So say there's something that you really want to learn or you really want to study, you can go in and change your learning plan so it accepts whatever performance indicator that you want it to accept. I've done this a few times. I've changed my learning plan like 8 times, 8 weeks in a row because there was a book or some education I wanted to learn. So I just changed my learning plan. It's not a big deal. And this falls under the CDR self-study activity type of 720 print. So I believe at one point there was a limit on what you could learn or what you could take for, say, 720 print. But right now, there's no maximum CPEUs per your 5 years, right? So you can do all pre-approved self-study if that's what you want to do. That's kind of what I do. I don't get to many conferences, but I tend to do most of my stuff self-study and journal entries. So after you make the purchase, in this instance, Atomic Habits, it'll give you a downloadable file and it'll tell you a little bit about what the CEU is about. Learning objectives, CDR approved, CR accepted, and then it gives you a description of the CEU. When I take this test, I do it in browser. You know instantly if you've passed or failed, or 70% score is required to pass. So what you will do is click on this link here, and it will open up the test or exam for you. You type in your email address and hit start. And here is the start of this test. You can see atomic habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. 10 CPEUs, CDR activity number 145695. It says number of questions 45. You can save and finish at a later date. Questions displayed per page is 1. So 1 question at a time. You have to hit next to find the next question. Can go back and change your numbers. It gives you a little bit of information about the exam. You hit continue, and it goes to the first question. It's pretty easy to take this. I love this. It's like you don't have to go anywhere to take your exam. You just knock it out right here, and you know instantly what your answer is, and earn your 10 CPEUs for this one. So you may have noticed that the exam says it's 40 questions, but when we just looked at that paperwork on the computer, it said there was 45. At the end, there's a couple questions about how you found this valuable. You know, will it change in your practice, or will you operate differently? And then after you answer that, it brings up the screen of your right and wrong answers. So you know where to focus your studying. I normally log my activities or my continuing education right after I do them if I have time. You can go to the View DPT guide, make sure that got the right study material, or you're in the right activity type for this one. According to the information on the website, this is 720 pre-approved self-study materials. And then I go back to my CDR. So I'll go back to my CDR portfolio and I will log the activity. And you'll be able to see here on my CDR portfolio what that looks like. Currently have 32, I need 75, and my end cycle date is 5/31/2023. Today is 1/30/2023, so I have 4 months to knock out a little over 40 CPEUs. So I usually fill out as much information as possible, but here we'll go to add activity. Activity type is required. We'll scroll down here to the 720, click on self-study printed. Activity date. When you completed this activity, you can see that I did this one a little bit ago. Sphere number, that's back at that other page. So this won't let you pick anything that is not on your DPT profile. So just make sure that this coincides with the sphere number and competency, and click. For this continuing education, I picked sphere number 9, education and counseling, and the competency was 9.4, provides nutrition and dietetic education to a variety of individuals, groups, and populations. And then after that, I go down to the activity title, which is Atomic Habits, or whatever was on the web page where I ordered the CEU from. You can see it's Atomic Habits, easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad new ones. And the activity provider, which in this case is Dietitian 360. And then what were the CPE units that were awarded for completing this education? In this case, it was 10. CDR also wants to know what impact that this continuing education will have on your knowledge, skill, judgment, and how this could potentially impact your future or current practice. Save it and make sure it's loaded up. You can see 1/6/2023, Dietitian 360, activity 10. And then what I do is it says optional, but I'm not messing around. I always upload the certificate of completion that is emailed to you, along with saving that in a separate hard drive in case their website goes down and they lose everything. I want to be able to re-upload everything just to be safe. You can kind of see that I have my own file where I keep some of this stuff. it's there, all done. Once you have finished the test and exam, you will be emailed this certificate of completion. Your name, activity number, what your score was. Again, I save this in a separate file on my computer just in case something happens where I have to prove again that I passed this test. I want to be able to do that pretty easily, so I have a separate file for all that stuff that I keep in multiple places because I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to that. But anyways, I hope you found this helpful. If there's anything you want me to review, if there's any continuing education you want me to review, or you want me to go into greater detail about something, please drop a comment and I will reply to you pretty quickly. I reply to every single comment, and I have no problem reviewing whatever you want me to review, whether it's counts towards my continuing education or not. So please, if you found this useful, like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any other questions in the comments. Thank you.